I gotta be honest with you. I kind of chickened out on making these videos. I had a roller coaster of emotions. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. My camera layout is a little different. I'm trying some new stuff. I saw that Nick Brumhall does it in a similar format. I really like him, so credit to him. I'm not trying to steal anything. I'm trying to make my own stuff. But I am new at creating content, so yeah, you gotta start somewhere. Maybe I'll find a format that is just mine someday. So yeah. Okay, so I kind of got into this week's Music Making Mondays with like no clue of what I want. So I guess we're just going to start messing around and see where we go from there. Kind of feeling like a melancholic vibe, something more ethereal. I synthesized a patch, and honestly, I think that patch is really inspiring. So I'm going to start using that. Okay, so yeah, so that's decided. We are going to work on 102 BPM, but I am really bad at playing keyboard, so quantize everything. I think that this is good enough. Every time I have to do this, like I think, wow, my tempo is really, really bad. Okay, so that's fine for now. Let's just continue to whatever we're going. This has a vibe. I'm going to try like to make a bass, like a Reese bass, but I'm feeling like a really clean 808 somewhere. I'm just going to make a Reese bass for now so we can get the harmony. For some reason, why did that happen? We were in 102 BPM, and suddenly you can see right here, we are not anymore. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I guess we're just rolling with the 110.5 BPM. Maybe a shaker? Let's try that. Let's try to put in some movement. Maybe this one. This has a very interesting vibe, and I'm quite liking where this is going. What if we made this a reggaeton? I don't know, like a lo-fi dark reggaeton. So let's try building up to the reggaeton. Okay, that's nice. Okay. I went non-verbal. I am not used to talking to a camera. And actually, if you were here with me right now, I would be non-verbal because I am not used to producing stuff while talking to people. So sorry for that. Let's put that in order so we stay organized. And maybe another kick. I like that stomp one. This has too much attack, so let's get rid of that. Now it has too little attack. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I like the groove. I'm not sure about this. I think this needs to be like an open hat, not a snare. Wait a second, my cat is messing with my stuff. Say hi. Hi. His name is Subwoofer. Let's continue. In this last bar right here, we can get rid of the snare. And I think we can like group these and send to a reverb as well, just so they feel like a single groove, not a bunch of samples spread around. So, okay, let's try making our reggaeton. If we kill off the shaker, it just sounds weird. Yeah, it's not quite there yet. I need perks in general. Maybe I have on my sample libraries. Let's try something like that. Yeah, I guess this sounds too organic. I like this groove, but it's kind of all over the place. So what I need is some kind of element of percussion that dictates where the beat is. I didn't want to use splice, but well, I just want like a hi-hat or something. Actually, let me see if I have a sample and then I can just play that. The problem is that I think I don't. These sound too organic. You know what? I don't usually do this, but it's, well, the whole idea of this is to try stuff, and oh, Jesus Christ. I always forget that I can actually use like Contact and other libraries as drums. I always remember that for like metal, rock, because well, my drum libraries are there, but I don't usually remember that for stuff like this. And well, there's a lot of good stuff. I need something more electronic. Yeah, maybe this or this one. Let's try to play over that. Yeah, I don't like that timbre. Kind of like that, but we're not quite there yet. Yeah, this I like this sound. For reference, if you have the same library, it's the hi-hat from More Sesame Kid. That's tasty. Okay, so now that we have like kind of like a structure, let's actually try to put this into a structure. What if these bass notes went down? Yeah, like that. Okay. Put in some little effects here so we can like feel what's the vibe. Actually, we can maybe enter with like the reggaeton already. Let's try that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We can go back to the reggaeton, but now with the percussions right here. Yeah, this one can actually go up. Here we can like end sooner. Maybe without. Actually, this and right here. Okay, so I believe that we need a chorus right now, which isn't this. I think this is like a break or part C. I really hope you're not listening to the guy that mowing the lawn. So let's save this to later. We've started. I'm not quite convinced with the timbre of the kick and the snare here. I think the kick needs to be a little more round, like less aggressive, and the snare needs to be a little more like round and less aggressive. Maybe? Yeah, no. I'm not, I don't think I want to stomp in there. Okay, so here we need something different and new. Oh, I want something like more happy, more movement. For now, I'm gonna leave the kick and snare that we already had, just so we can like establish a groove for the chorus. And after that, we can like experiment with sounds. I don't like that bass. Let's try to get a chord, like a chord progression going. Let's try something. Kind of like that. It needs some adjustments, like a slower attack. Yeah, like that. This is, that's a fire. Listen to this. Bro, what? That's too nice. Yeah, so now that we have that on the verse, we need to come up with something like really nice to the chorus. I guess that we could like, yeah, like do that and change the sound so it feels like something new without actually being something new. I don't know how much I like that idea, but let's just, well, try. Yeah, definitely not that. Maybe this pluck is not within the vibe that I want. Maybe we need to go back to the drums. A drum and bass type of stuff, maybe? What about maybe these? I guess this sounds like a chorus, doesn't it? Like, what if we build up to this instead and like, yeah, let's try that. Yeah, that sounds nice. I like that. Maybe we can layer then. Okay, I like that. That's pretty nice. We just need like to do a build up, you know, like with effects and stuff. Maybe we leave this idea for the second chorus. Maybe now is the time to search the timbres for the first part of the kick and the snare, because I think that not having them already on there is dragging us down. Guess this one we can just EQ the top out. That's kind of what I've imagined for this, so. Yeah, okay, so let's see this snare. Let's see if I have something like, maybe this one? I don't think that. Maybe if we EQ the hell out of it, we can make it sound how we want. So maybe that's too fast. And maybe this needs a reverb, so we can take it out of the middle and throw it a little bit to the sides. Now we maybe bring those back up. Yeah, this sounds like complete garbage. Let's get rid of that. Ta 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 ta. I like that. I think we can make some nice sound design with that. So let's try doing that. Martin Flöther. I like playing with that. That's not bad, but it isn't good as well. Maybe something like this. Let's try that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get a snare going. Where are my snares? Yeah, I'm going to use a sample, so whatever. Don't judge me, please, please. I have an idea. I want it to open, and then I want it to close again, and then open again. That's nice! Let's continue! And then after this, we can bring back that idea from the beginning, which I think is going to look awesome, which I think is going to sound awesome, not look awesome. Oh yeah, bro, let's go. I really enjoy that. I'm going to make a little rough mix here, so I'll fast forward to after that, and then we can listen to what we have. There's some things that I want to add. For example, for this chorus, I want to add another pad or chord-like stuff, an octave higher, so it feels like it opens up more. That's really nice. I want some of those, how do you say that? Ear candy stuff. So let's try to make some of those around the track, and then I guess we're done. That sucks. Yeah, so here, I hope you're not hearing the train. Now there's a train. God damn it. Yeah, this layer right here, it needs more texture. Honestly, there are a lot of things here that I will change because I like the idea a lot. I think it can go to a really nice place, a really professional place. Here, it's not really professional, but again, the idea here is that we be creative and start new ideas and, well, exercise that. So Yeah, so before we listen to the entire thing, by the way, Future Martin here, I finished this track and there's a lot that changed, and I'm just going to show you a snippet of it, and then we can listen to what we actually did on the episode. And if what you hear next interests you and you want to sing over it or you want to make it yours, there's a link in the description where you can buy this instrumental for yourself. And by the way, one of my strongest beliefs ever is that every piece of art is unique. So only one copy. I don't believe in that thing of leasing beats and stuff. One piece of art to one artist, and I hope you make the best song ever. Let's listen. Let's listen to the entire thing. Leave a like, tell me what you think of this instrumental in the comments, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And if you want more sounds for your serum, there's also that link that I mentioned before in the description. You can get them there. Until next week. And I promise you, I will be there, not like last time.